mommy 9 weeks? 9 weeks with baby? Oh, good boy. Hello, you guys. Good morning. Welcome to my 9 weeks pregnancy vlog. I'm gonna show you guys a bump date first thing this morning. Oh my god, you're so needy. He knows that I'm pregnant. It's so funny. As I was saying, I'm gonna show you guys a little bump update first thing this morning. I have a little one, but I won't be able to lay on my stomach for much longer. I mean, like probably in the next month or two, I won't be able to do this. I don't do it often, but just because I'm doing it right now, I decided to mention it. Even laying how I am right now, it's like not the most comfortable, so maybe I won't do that. I'm not gonna lie, I am pretty tired this morning. It is Monday. I need to go into my office, but it's been 2 weeks since I did a bump update, so before I eat or anything, I want to just get that done. Sometimes I have the help of Alan, sometimes I have the help of my sister-in-law, but today I'm on my own. So I'm gonna go do my skincare first, then we're gonna pull out my tripod and get that done. Printed out the photo on a Polaroid. I think I've shown you guys this before, but I have like an actual Polaroid camera, but Alan already left for work. So I have this like Polaroid printer. It's called the Insta-X, and basically you can print photos from your phone and make it on a Polaroid. So I don't know if you can tell the difference, but these two were taken on the Polaroid 4 weeks, 7 weeks, and then this one I printed from my phone. I feel like the color is a little bit better. It looks a little bit lighter. These ones look a little bit darker, but it's fine. They're so cute. I love this. I'm gonna eventually add them to the pregnancy journal. As always at the beginning of these videos, I like to kind of just go over baby this week. Baby is the size of a green olive. Now, if you watched last week's vlog, I'll probably talk about it again later in this one, but I want to start a new series like baking with baby Jukic, where I use the size of baby as an ingredient in something I make, specifically baking. Now, I was thinking about olives. I feel like I could make like a pizza or a focaccia bread. I would rather make like a dessert. So I was looking online, and in comparison to a green olive, baby would be like the size of a cherry or a grape. This is what baby's looking like this week. So definitely starting to look more like a baby, but its head is so big. Oh my goodness. Or her head. I don't know why I say his. I can't remember if I told you guys this, but my initial gut, like literally as soon as I saw a positive pregnancy test, I thought it was a boy. I promise I don't know the gender, so if I do say his or hers or whatever, it's just because I'm not thinking. Although I have been catching myself say his, and I think it's just because in my head, like my gut feeling was a boy. I don't know. I'll talk about it more in a bit, but now I'm starting to think it's a girl because my acne has been crazy. Anyways, so my app says that this is the last week that baby is technically an embryo. After week 9 going into week 10, the baby is actually considered a fetus. So the head is straightened out and is more fully developed. The ears are continuing to grow. It looks more like a human. Toes are visible, and all baby's essential organs like heart, brain, kidneys, liver, lungs have begun to develop. It is very interesting, but the arms and legs apparently are already spontaneously moving, but because it is so small, you obviously can't feel it yet. It's saying this week or like this time in the pregnancy is for extreme fatigue, and I definitely am feeling that. I'm very tired. The nausea is actually starting to decrease a little bit, but I'm just tired 24/7, and muscles are starting to form, which is, it's so crazy. I do have an ultrasound in 2 days time, so it's gonna be very cool to see the difference of how baby grew from the last time we saw baby on ultrasound. Now, I know I briefly talked about hormonal acne in the early stages of my pregnancy between like weeks 4 and 6, but this week it is noticeably a lot worse. And as somebody who who does not get acne really at all. I am struggling with it a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. At the end of the day, like, I know I'm very privileged to be in this position because it means that I am pregnant and that was my goal. But again, as somebody who doesn't get acne, it's been a little bit hard mentally. I don't even know if the camera's gonna do it justice. I'm gonna insert some photos so that you can kind of see how it looks in photos. It looks like very bumpy. I have a lot of red spots. I have a lot of pimples on my jawline, and now I'm starting to get it a little bit more on my cheeks. For somebody who does get acne, it might not look bad, but again, I'm not used to this, so just I'm having a hard time mentally with it. It's making me feel a little bit down, and although for the most part I am positive, I still feel like having that feeling is valid. I'll try to show you on the camera again. I don't know if it's gonna do justice, but it is so bumpy, so many red dots everywhere. The bags under my eyes are absolutely crazy. I feel like I'm just like aging. I don't know if you guys can even like tell what I'm complaining about. I have it a lot around my ears too, but now again, like I said, it's starting to come on my cheeks, and it's definitely on my jawline and like kind of going down my neck. I will say I think this side is worse, the right side. Overall, I have been eating really well, or as best as I can. I'm still doing my skincare. I'm still washing and cleansing my face every single day. So it is frustrating, but I know that this is just temporary and it's hormonal. But if you guys have any tips, I'm still using my Korean skincare. Like I said, I'm still cleansing my face every day. I've hardly been wearing any makeup. This is simply just hormones going all bonkers. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, I'm gonna ride it out because like I said, I'm grateful and I'm privileged to be pregnant and I don't want to complain. But you know, being a girl, it's hard to have, you know, acne when you don't want it, right? So yeah, that's just me venting a little bit. Hello you guys, today has been quite chaotic. I just had my second ultrasound. This morning was all over the place and I could not record that much, but holy moly, baby is doing so well. Literally just look at the little babe. It is so surreal to see like a big head. You can literally in some of the photos see the eye sockets and the little arms and legs. I have been so emotional, so I went and picked up Alan from work so that we could go together, and I just dropped him off. He had to go back to work, and I just been crying the whole time. Like, I'm just so appreciative and grateful. Like, this is so amazing. Baby is very photogenic and was in a really good spot. As you can see, the ultrasound tech took 6 photos. She was like, I'm sorry, I'm taking so many photos. You're gonna have a lot of ultrasound photos. And I was like, girl, why are you saying sorry? I will take as many as you give me. But baby was just in a really good spot and kept like turning. Like, look at this photo. Look at its eye sockets. Baby is literally staring. I mean, that is so funny. The baby already is taking after its mama. It's also really cool because you can very clearly see the yolk sac. It's like a big ball and it's literally right under baby's foot, and the ultrasound tech was like, it looks like your baby is playing soccer. And I was like, that's hilarious, because if you know anything about me, I played competitive soccer growing up. I actually had schools in the US looking at me for post-secondary education, but I didn't end up going because of my mom and her cancer and all of that. I just thought that was so funny, so I'm like, maybe I'm gonna have a little soccer babe, like who knows? So I kind of just want to give you guys some updates on what they said at today's ultrasound. So baby is actually measuring 1 day ahead now. So I am technically 9 weeks, 4 days. Going into today's appointment, based on my embryo transfer, I was 9 weeks, 3 days. So we're measuring 1 day ahead. If you guys remember in my 7-week vlog, baby was measuring 1.1 centimeters and now baby is measuring 2.8 centimeters. Heartbeat per minute is pretty high, 176. So it's obviously not for sure, but by old wives' tales, it could possibly be a girl. All of the blood work I did in my last video came back normal. And then we discussed a few things with the doctor afterwards. So we did decide where we are going to deliver. The hospital that we went into the appointment thinking we were going to deliver at
changed. For reference, I live in Brampton, Ontario. We were kind of going back and forth where we wanted to go, but then we decided we're just gonna stick with Brampton. However, when we went to the appointment and we talked to the doctor, she gave her opinion. She said personally she doesn't recommend Georgetown. She wasn't crazy about Brampton. She said if we wanted to go with that, she would find an OB and refer us there, but her recommendation was to actually go to Oakville Trafalgar Hospital, which is like about a 25-minute drive from where we live. She said it's a really good hospital. It's a big city, so there's lots of doctors in the area, and she personally and the clinic personally knows a lot of the OBs and doctors there. She did refer me to somebody who she said is absolutely amazing, and it was kind of funny because initially when we were talking about where we should deliver the baby, the first place that Alan, my husband, said was actually Oakville. I don't know why. I think maybe because we lived in Burlington for 5 years. Like, we know Burlington Hospital is really good. We know Oakville Hospital is really good. And although now we're kind of back in Brampton, we don't mind driving that far. And like, even the doctor was like, this is your first baby. It's not like when your water breaks, it's just gonna like fall out. She's like, you're gonna have time. Between the three of us, we were kind of just like going back and forth, and then we decided on Oakville. So she put in the referral for me. She said that OB's office should call me within the next week or two just to schedule my next appointment. And she said if I don't hear from that OB within like 2 weeks, that to call back and they're gonna like press them. And then we also discussed genetic testing, specifically the NIPT testing. Going into this appointment, me and Alan were kind of thinking we don't want to do genetic testing for a few reasons. I know I've touched on it before, but we're both very young. We don't have known genetic issues within our family or family history, but she really recommended it, and she said if we do it, we can find out the gender early, which we are dying to do. So she's gonna send us the referral. We don't need to decide right this second, but once I have to do it after 10 weeks, so we kind of have to decide within the next week if I'm gonna do it. But now we're kind of leaning more towards yes. However, it is a screening, so no matter what they tell us, it doesn't mean like it's definite or it's confirmed. I don't know, there's a lot of pros and cons. If you guys have any like feedback on it, let me know. But she said for the most part, people who do IVF, especially if you didn't do the PGT testing, which we did not, they do the NIPT testing. Maybe we're gonna change our mind. We have to do the test through Life Labs, and I believe it's like $500, which sucks, but it is what it is. I am just so freaking excited, and I've been feeling better this week. Oh my god, I love this little babe. I love it.
So it has been a few days, and I realized I did not show you guys a comparison. So the left is our first ultrasound, and then this one is the one I had the other day. Look how much baby grew within 2 weeks. So the first ultrasound, it was literally just a little blob, but now in comparison, like, we literally have a baby. It is so crazy just looking at the changes. I also realized I completely forgot to tell you guys 2 days ago that we graduated from the fertility clinic. So that ultrasound was the last appointment that we were having at our fertility clinic, so it was definitely a very special day. I don't even know how that part skipped my mind and I just forgot to tell you. With that being said, I think I did mention that I was referred to an OB, so that's where the next person I'm gonna see. I don't have to go back to my clinic whatsoever. I also did forget to mention I had to get one more box of progesterone just because I was pretty much ending that day, and she was like, it's better to have a little bit extra, even though I'm supposed to be stopping at 10 weeks. So it's gonna end up being like 10.5 weeks that I do the progesterone, but it's all good. Now I quickly want to open a package with you guys. So I was kindly sent this by one of my Instagram followers. Her name is Samantha, and she does own her own company called Vessel and Vine Gifts. So shout out to her for that. I'm just pulling up her page. Specifically, she does curated infertility and IVF gift boxes. She is totally not asking me to talk about this whatsoever. She just kindly gifted this to me, so I figured we can open it up together. So it came in this little cute box, and it has her logo on the front. Ooh, I wonder if there's like a candle or something in here because it smells really good. At the top it says, sending lots of love your way. Oh, and she wrote me a handwritten note. Kayla, congrats. Super excited for baby Jukic. You are an infertility warrior and are going to be the best mama. Sending peace and love for the journey ahead. Thank you for supporting Vessel and Vine Valentine gifts with love, Sam. So it is a little cutie box and it just has like that, what is it called? The crinkle paper. We have a sweet rescue nourishing and brightening mask. Ooh, there is a sea salt lavender chamomile bath soak. So it's like the little Epsom salts that you throw in your bath. Oh, and I was right. There is a candle, sandalwood and rose. Oh my god, it smells so freaking good. And there's a little brown scrunchie. I love this. I actually have scrunchies in so many colors, but I don't have brown, so this is perfect. And I believe that is everything. That was so kind, Samantha. If you are watching this, thank you so much. I will put the link to her Instagram page in my description box. I'm obviously in Canada, but she is located within the US. I'm not 100% sure if she ships everywhere, but definitely check out her Instagram. And again, that was so kind of her for sending this. I'm exhausted, so I'm going to end this vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed the 9 weeks. Make sure to subscribe to me down below so you don't miss any future videos. Give this video a big thumbs up. And like always, I will catch you next week for my next weekly vlog. 10 weeks, almost very, very close to being out of the first trimester. Can't even believe it. I'll catch you guys then.